Nigerian government and their sponsors don't go report international community. What do they report them to? Or rather, what do they report them for? They went there to report that the whole world or the whole universe would blame IPOB for the insecurity in their country. It sounds funny, Abi. Yes, it will sound funny to you the same way it sounds funny to me. That as big as Nigeria is, they are still behaving like toddlers. Blame IPOB for insecurity. The presidency cries out. A very shocking movie. I call it a movie because this is a complete movie. A complete failure. Anyway, let me not waste much of our time. Let us listen to this. My brother from another mother, the excellent media house. You will understand everything. Maybe I didn't capture this in my previous video about crying for Nigeria, but let us capture it from this angle because they said you have to dissect the message in different angles. So please let us capture from this side. From this angle. And as you are watching, please kindly subscribe and share. Make sure that this message goes viral. That Nigerian government now are blaming IPOB for their incompetence of defending or rather of protecting lives and property of the people whom they claimed they are being governed. Alright, let's go there, my people.
Daniel Bwala, granted on Al Jazeera, is one of the most ridiculous interviews I've ever watched for a very long time. Honestly speaking, I've watched this interview for up to 3 times today, and I kept asking myself, is it that the host is not professional, or is it that the guest is lying? Because, in fact, before I give you the cocoa of this interview, I want to play just a very short clip for you so that you will understand what I mean.
Tinubu never created a militia. Tinubu is one of the foremost politicians in Nigerian history.
Tinubu and his people created a militia. Who said those words, Daniel?
Tinubu has helped in strengthening democracy in
Tinubu
Nigeria.
and his people created a militia, Daniel. Who said those words?
Tinubu brought in leadership
skills
into governance.
Tinubu and his people created a militia. Who said those words?
Tinubu and his people never created the militia.
So why did you say they did on January 22nd, 2023?
I never said that.
The candidate of all progressive conference as Tinubu and his people created a militia. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria we are seeing a political party creating a militant arm leading to election.
Does he have a militia that tried to kill you?
He doesn't have. I never said he tried to kill me.
But I myself have received threats from him and his camp. Your words.
I never said that.
There is also this threat to life, and I can tell you that because I myself have received threats from Asiwaju and his camp.
The video you are watching, let me just explain a little bit because you will hear a kind of high tone voice and low tone voice. So that is when the interviewer throws a punch to Daniel Bwala and their Nigerian counterpart. When he lie, the interviewer on Al Jazeera will say, like, I'm tired of this guy's lying. Then they will bring a video where he really made all those comments that the interviewer is asking him and he denied. The next one you will hear is, I am not aware of that. Let us continue.
You said it was so corrupt, the 2023 election, to do with win. You said that you couldn't eat food for 3 days.
I never said that. Where?
And legitimate complaints were raised all over Nigeria. That part is what threw me off balance. In fact, I became so sick. For the past 3 days, I found it very hard eating food.
Tinubu is not just super rich. It's what he does with his wealth. In 2019, 2 armored money trucks, Bullion vans, were seen going into his house, coming out of his house. Where did that money go?
No. Point. Did you see the money? Or those who reported, did they see money inside the Bullion van?
Was there no money in the Bullion vans?
How am I to know?
You said it was money in the vans at the time. 2023, February.
But there is only one person in Nigeria who is alleged to have moved money through Bullion vans, and that person is on their ballot as the presidential candidate.
On the eve of the presidential elections, 2 cash-laden Bullion vans, your words, were seen on the premises, which was ostensibly for vote buying. Your words, January 2022nd, 2023. You just disowned everything you've said in order to work for this president.
What you just said now, I want to put it on record on my own honor. That's not what I said.
That one, now part 1. The second one, at some point, they were asking him about insecurity in Nigeria. he said that it is Ipob that they have bombed their camp. The man said, insecurity? Thirdly, they asked him, did your president create militia? Militia is a kind of military forces, that engage in terrorism, right? So the host was asking him, did your president create militia? Did you know what he answered? Holy Jesus, holy Jesus. I've been asking myself, on how the Bible on please take your little time and listen to this. As I said, this is one of the most, I don't know the word to use now, but I've not seen this kind of interview for a very long time. Please listen to them. Then you know whether is it the one that is acting, unprofessional, or is it the one that is lying? You don't need it by yourself. Listen to them, then you wrote your comment in the comment section. What to think, please. Let's talk.
More about your boss, President Tinubu. He's been on the political scene in Nigeria for decades, first as governor of Lagos, and now as president since 2023. He's a very rich man in a very impoverished country, and there's a lot of mystery as to where he got his wealth, estimated to be in the billions of dollars. Right. What do you say to people who highlight allegations against him of, quote, massive corruption and misappropriation of funds?
That's their opinion.
Actually, it's your opinion. In January 2023, you talked about the legal petition against him that involves, quote, massive corruption and misappropriation of funds. You were in the opposition.
Yeah, I was very critical of that. Exactly about what I said, because what you just said is no true representation.
January 22nd, 2023, you said the petition against him involves massive corruption and misappropriation of funds belonging to the government of Lagos State, abuse of official office, conflict of interest.
I'm glad you said the petition against it.
Yeah.
Your document that was taken to court.
You highlighted.
I wasn't the one that went to court. And at that time, where was I?
You were an opposition member.
Thank you.
So should we not trust you when you say things about
what is the job of opposition?
To oppose?
Yeah, no, you know it.
For the sake of opposing?
No, that's what you're adding.
I mean, you didn't just say that.
Go to Westminster on Wednesday by 9 o'clock.
Okay.
You'll understand the
you can do whataboutism all day, that's fine. You also said that, well, you know what doesn't happen in Westminster in the US Congress?
I know what doesn't happen.
Well, I'm telling you what doesn't happen. Politicians don't accuse other politicians of setting up a militia. You said
also accuse the governing party.
You said at the time
mistake in judgment. You appointed someone that eventually turned out to be somebody in the FC.
Yeah, if you think that this is comparable to Starmer and Mandelson, good luck to you if that's your defense tonight. You said at the time that Tinubu started a militia to sway the election corruptly and that they even threatened you. So how can you take anything seriously you say tonight in his defense?
Your opinion, Nigeria.
So my opinion is your opinion. Sorry, Daniel, that's your opinion.
That was litigated in Nigeria to conclusion, and then as a country we moved on. We are more interested about the deliverables that we have for the Nigerian people, and
Nigerians are very concerned about corruption. And Tinubu, you said this. Tinubu and his people created a militia. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria we've seen a political party creating a militant arm leading to election. Your word, January 2023.
Context is everything.
There is no context.
I'm coming. You are quoting the things I said when I was in the opposition.
And I understand that's uncomfortable for you.
No, you want to disown him. I'm sorry for you to ask anything about.
Does he have a militia that tried to kill you?
He doesn't know. I never said he tried to kill me.
But I myself have received threats from him and his camp. Your words.
I never said that.
You didn't say that. At a press conference on January 22nd, 2023. You just denying.
I never said that.
Who said it then? I look alike.
No, I don't know what you meant by that. I know I complained at the time.
You said
about the conduct of election.
It is not my fault that I am able to record your words in the way you put up.
It will be your fault.
Tinubu,
you read it out of context.
And if we go on late tonight, context.
Yes.
Tinubu and his people created a militia. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria we've seen a political party creating a militant arm and leading to election. He advised his people should grab by all means necessary the process leading to elections, but they created this militia shortly after that. We have seen violence in Nigeria, and I myself have received threats from him and his camp.
Tinubu never created a militia. Tinubu is one of the foremost politicians in Nigerian history.
Tinubu and his people created a militia. Who said those words, Daniel?
Tinubu has helped in strengthening democracy in
Tinubu
Nigeria.
and his people created a militia, Daniel. Who said those words?
Tinubu brought in leadership,
I'll ask you
skills,
first time.
to governance.
Tinubu and his people created a militia. Who said those words?
Tinubu and his people never created a militia.
So why did you say they did on January 22nd, 2023?
I never said that.
Let's keep going since you're denying words that came out of your mouth. Let's quote some other folks. The Organised Crime and Corruption Reporting Project named President Tinubu a finalist for the 2024 Corrupt Person of the Year Award. According to a 2025 poll, 2 out of 3 Nigerians think the president and his team are involved in corruption.
That is a statement from drunken people. Next question.
2 out of 3.
The decision of the Supreme Court buying all authorities and people throughout the Federation. That's what matters.
So we're not going to continue because I think a part of this interview have already been recorded on my previous video, so there's no point moving ahead with this. But you must understand one thing, that the Nigerian government now are calling IPOB, that they are the one that are responsible for the insecurity in that contraction called Nigeria. That is one thing I want you to take back home, and that is the subject matter of this message, and that is the equal, that is the MSC Ogu waiting for this message. Now be this one now one I hear, and because I be the headline of the message. So and it will also interest you to know that these people are trying to indict IPOB in many ways. I mean IPOB, I mean the whole of Igbo land in many ways, by Sultan of Sokoto or Gumi, whatever, running to go to hide in Imo State, so that whenever these men will be looking for them, they will try to capture them in our land, and the casualties will always be there. Despite the fact that they are more careful than that of a contraction of a country they called Nigeria. But anyway, let me just dissect the comment section a little bit to see what the reactions of people over this matter, or what they say concerning the Biafrans. Ikechukwu said, because Nigeria is a corrupt place, when you talk about the government, they will fix you somewhere so that you keep quiet. Okay, Paul Wachukwuka said, let this press interview send a strong signal to the president of Finland, Alex Tobe, for the incarceration of Mazi Simon Ekpa for 6 years. Let the world authorities look into the matter. God Almighty is watching. Okay, according to Ofeke, Joseph said that the only country that bears and globalize their lies, this is called international lies. Ugochukwu said that this man is shameless and a big disgrace to mankind. Esu Eko said, God, thank you for giving Iran people peace. Please, God, Nigeria need cleaning from chairman to president. All should be wiped out for peace to be in this country, my brother. There's nothing more, nothing less. John Opaka, God bless this guy that have expressed what we have been facing by Nigeria devilish group of government. Okay, Ikechukwu said, if not that Nigeria is not working, how can this kind of person be in a political party for the interests of people and for the citizens of Nigerians? No way. Onyebuchi, shameful out in Boala. Whatever you are thinking, I did not know that this man is so naive. Now waiting, this our brother talk. And according to ROC, said, thank you for notifying me, Yoruba man, trying to make some chameleon moves. I did not eat for 3 days, but this is not a Yoruba man, my brother. Everything is not all about Yoruba. Daniel Boala is, in fact, he's a Muslim, he's a Hausa Christian. Abi? Okay. Colin said Boala is another big disgrace for this administration. My people, now we will take a break and I'll get here also again. When I come back, like, share, comment, and subscribe.